The only way you could get this Rolex at retail is by giving up one of your kidneys. Maybe that's not entirely true. However, if you give one of your kidneys to your sales associate, he might be more inclined and more incentivized to actually give you one of these at retail. And the Rolex I'm talking about is without a doubt the most sought after collectible, as well as the most replicated Rolex in the lineup. And this is going to be none other than a Rolex Daytona 116-500 LN with that Panda configuration. The Rolex Daytona Panda was first introduced in 2016 and it didn't go through a reference change up until 2023. Obviously now we have the 126-500, but this is the first iteration of the Panda with that black ceramic dial, bright white dial, and black subdials. This Rolex has a relatively low retail price, however it trades over 100% over MSRP. And this is one of the few watches that has consistently held its value over the course of the last few years. It's universally recognized, everybody knows what it is, and it is without a doubt, once again, the most collectible, the most sought after, and the most replicated Rolex that there is. Now the first two things, those are good. Collectability, value retention, it's a great thing. However, that last thing that I said, this being one of the most replicated watches pretty much in the world, that's a bad thing. So what I'm going to do for you guys today is give you a full PPI, the Horologyxchange industry standard. We're going to run through this 116-500, do a full authentication, and then show you guys exactly what we find. So without further ado, let's jump into this watch. Now, as I open up this Rolex box, I'm kind of reminded why this is the most popular Rolex in the world. Aside from pretty much doubling your money as soon as you buy it, it's just a very clean silhouette. I mean, the black and the white, it reminds me of a tuxedo. It's just clean, classic, and I can understand why everybody wants one. But we're here to authenticate this watch, so before I actually start inspecting the watch itself, I'm going to inspect all the accessories this watch comes with. That'll let me know if I'm about to waste my time or if we're off to a good start. So let's jump into it. So the first thing to look at is going to be our warranty card as well as the white tag. A white tag is definitely important, especially in special dial watches such as this. So serial number 7J7, obviously I'm going to hide the rest of it, but everything matches. Now we have a model 116-500 LN. This should also be reflected on the white tag, which it is. Now after that -0001, that notates that we have a white dial so that we know that this is a factory born Panda. Now I'm going to double check all the verbiage, all the literature that is on this warranty card, double check for spelling errors, because as crazy as that sounds, the replicators, they make fake warranty cards and they misspell stuff all the time. Another thing I haven't seen them perfect is going to be the date of purchase window. If you look at it, it has a nice white matte hue with a Rolex insignia as well as the Rolex writing all around it. One of the other biggest things on a new NFC warranty card is going to be the print. This is going to be specifically for the model and serial number, and as you can see, the print is actually raised above the card. All the other literature is level with the warranty card. These cards are actually engraved and then backfilled, which gives pretty much this embossed or raised effect. I also checked the outer edge of the warranty card. It has a nice gold surround, and then I checked the verbiage on the back. We have the Rolex cornet up top with the Rolex writing and then Guarantee International. Double check all this, make sure it's spelled correctly, and then also take note of the color. It is a very nice hunter green with a nice metallic effect to it. Now lastly, we are going to scan the NFC chip in this warranty card. You do not need a special app for this, just put your phone's camera right over the warranty card and it will bring you right to the Rolex website. Of course, you're going to want to double check and make sure that this is the correct Rolex website. It's not a fake one because, well, it's not that hard to replicate a website. But we're going to search up this reference number and of course, it is no longer available. Reason being, this is the 126-500. That's the watch that came out and replaced it. Now, I just happen to have one of these replica warranty cards on hand. I always use it as a reference, but you guys could clearly see the differences here. We have a difference in color in both text and font. Color of the warranty card is completely off. It is way too light compared to a genuine Rolex warranty card. Even the back, take a look at the text, look at the fonts that they're utilizing. It is not the same. It's a very minuscule detail that most people will overlook. Now, once again, that date of purchase box, it is very, very off. This is not good, but our warranty card is good to go. Now that I know that I'm not wasting my time, I'm going to go ahead and start disassembling this watch. Now I'm going to get asked about 8 million times. The screwdriver size for an Oyster bracelet is 1.6 millimeters. That is the correct size so you don't strip out any of the screws. Remove the screw and now we can go ahead and remove the bracelet. If you want to protect the underside of the lugs, you need a spring bar tool like this. Cheap, go on Amazon, it works, it gets the job done. Now we have the bracelet off and the first thing I look at is always going to be the dial print. Now for me, this is a very easy task to do. I've probably seen more Panda Daytonas in my hands than most ADs have. Experience is your best friend. When I look at the literature on a dial, especially Daytona, that is the correct color and the correct font. So then I start looking at all of the sub dials. Now you want to make sure that all of the numerals are correct. They can't be too thick, too fat. We don't want to see any bleeding print because Rolex would never allow a dial to leave the factory with such a flaw. Now APH was pretty much its only exception. However, Rolex is very sterile when it comes to dial making. Everything is done to perfection. The pads are always printing out perfect literature, and that's why we have such a clean, crisp dial here. Now this reference features a ceramic bezel. Now ceramic, it's not an expensive element, so that doesn't deter these replica factories from actually utilizing the same exact materials. Take note of how the hue, the sheen, the shine of all the ceramic as well as all the numerals that are engraved into it. Everything is clean and very, very crisp. All the triangles go right to a point, and as you can see here, all of our numbers, they're evenly engraved, they're not overly exaggerated, unlike most of the replica or aftermarket inserts I've seen. The engraving on this one, it is very, very deep. It's completely wrong. The font being utilized here as well for all of the numerals running around the bezel, it's completely wrong as well. This comes with experience. Taking a look at the original one, comparing it to a replica one right next to it, it's a very easy thing to spot. Going back to the dial and hands, basically the cleanliness of all of Rolex's work. If you actually tilt it and catch some light, you can see how perfectly finished everything is. We're going to go ahead and start testing functionality. So we're going to set our time. Hit our first pusher. This is what starts and engages the chronograph. Now as you guys can see, that seconds hand, that is actually running around. That's your chronograph hand. So we're going to let this run for a few seconds, just make sure that it gets past the halfway or the quarter point of the dial. And we're going to go back in there, stop it, and then reset the chronograph. So you're going to push the top pusher to stop it, and then the bottom one to reset the chronograph. As you can see, everything went back perfectly. It landed right at 12 o'clock. This is exactly how this watch would have left the factory. Now, continuing on with our visual inspections, we're going to check our rehaut. Now, obviously, we matched the serial number up at 6 o'clock to the warranty card as well as the white hang tag. But we also want to make sure that everything is perfect on that rehaut engraving. That is exactly how it should look. A lot of clone manufacturers that make replica movements that accept genuine parts, sometimes they mess up the hand stack. Our hand stack here is perfect, so we can continue on with the visuals. Now the crystal. Want to make sure that the gasket is not overhanging the bezel, then we could check in between each lug for the correct engravings. Obviously here we have a 116500, so that's perfect. We have that linear grading going up and down, as well as our case construction. There should be a lip underneath each one of those engravings, just like this. That's exactly how a stainless steel Daytona case should look. Now we start getting into the condition of this timepiece. Starting off with the mid case, a Daytona mid case is asymmetrical. So obviously our chronograph pushers, they house the smaller side of the lugs. So we're just going to check for symmetry. Both of the lugs are perfectly even. Now I'm checking the crown guards. Once again, these are definitely unpolished. Everything is nice and symmetrical. Our crowns, our pusher tubes, everything like that is perfectly authentic. I'm going to double check the cornet as well as the trip lock crown. Here I'm just checking the flutes on the crown. Believe it or not, this can actually tell you a lot. Look how clean, look how sterile they are, and they play with the light perfectly. Our crown is good as well as our pushers and tubes. Now we inspect the other side of the mid case, and once again we have perfect symmetry. Both of the lugs are thick and even. They are exactly how they should be. Looking at it from the top, you'll notice the chamfer cuts. These are always on the underside of the lugs, and this lets me know that we still have factory finishes on this watch. So I know this, most watchmakers won't go through the trouble to actually put those finishes back on. We don't have a single dent or really any scratches on this mid case, so I'm pretty confident in this being the original finish it left with. Now we know everything externally is 100% original and authentic, including the finishes. So we need to check out what's going on inside of this watch. So we're going to loosen up our case back, go ahead and remove that. Now we get our first look at the caliber 4130. One of the best looking Rolex movements ever produced, I don't care what anybody says. Now within about 2 seconds of looking at this movement, it is 100% authentic. I'm going to give you guys a step-by-step breakdown, but first we need to check out that case back. First thing I look for is going to be that 2100 number at the bottom that is perfect for a Rolex Daytona case back. Then we have all of our other literature and engravings. Everything is finished to absolute perfection, so this case back is 100% authentic. Now to authenticate the movement, first thing I always look at is going to be the balance. Take a look at the finishing on it. It is absolutely perfect. It's free sprung. We have a blue Pericomb hairspring, which is correct. Then we move over to the main plate engraving. Now on a genuine 4130, you will have a main plate engraving. However, the manufacturers that fake the 4130, although they accept genuine parts and it can be built up to look like a genuine 4130, they do not have main plate engravings. The fit and finish of a genuine 4130 is absolutely perfect. Take a look at all the literature, look at the finishes on all of the bridges, all of the chronograph functions. This is actually how your pushers interact with the movement. And then on top of that, take a look at all the screw heads. They're perfectly black polished. As I put this pointer around the movement, it's basically reflecting it like a mirror. If you couldn't tell, yes, this is a 100% authentic 4130. The day that a replica can be made to look exactly like this, including all of the finishes, and we're in for some serious trouble. Now we are almost done with the full authentication of this timepiece. Lastly, I want to check out the bracelet. I'm going to check the fit and finish, the overall construction. Everything looks good here. Now we check the engravings of the upper SEL. 78590 is perfect for this oyster bracelet, which has the elongated upper SEL for Daytona mid case. Now taking a look at the buckle, first thing I look at is going to be the flip lock. As you can see, the crown cornet, it's not polished, the points are still perfectly sharp. Then I take a look at the fit and finish. It's like buying a used car, you want to make sure that everything is on point. The media blasting on the underside of the lock, as well as the overhang from the crown cornet. Now the engravings inside of the clasp, very easy thing to look at. Especially with a clasp code. You can look this up on Google and see if there's a replica watch matching the clasp code that you have. But this clasp, it is 100% authentic, it's 100% original, so I have zero concerns here. Now, we just completed the authentication on this 116500, and I have absolutely zero concerns. This watch is 100% authentic, from the crystal to the movement, to the pushers, to the crown, to the gaskets, to the finishes on the actual watch. It's a 100% original timepiece, so now we're good in that department. Lastly, like any pre-owned watch, there's always one more final test that I need to do, and that's going to be a time grapher diagnostic. Now that test is going to let me know that either A, this watch is running great, it's running within factory tolerances, or it needs a full overhaul. There's a lot of very useful information that comes from a time grapher, especially if you know exactly what you're looking at. So that's going to be my last test. That'll basically give me the go ahead and say, hey, take some pictures listed on the website. You can now sell this watch headache free. So let's get this thing wound up and thrown on the time grapher. After I do a full overhaul on a watch, you guys see me test it on this machine. This basically tells you how accurately a watch is running. Now, every manufacturer has a different tolerance range. However, Rolexes, they're supposed to be accurate, right? You're spending a bunch of money. You want to make sure that you could tell the time. Luckily for us, after all 5 positions, this watch is running perfectly. And now, after all of those steps, this watch is fully ready to go. I'm not doing a polish on this watch. It is in phenomenal pre-owned condition. Basically like new. Does once again come as a complete set, white tag, green tag, box, booklets, absolutely everything, warranty card dated 2022. If you are watching this video, I'm gonna give you guys a one-time wire price. It's gonna be $27,500. That is literally wholesale to the public. So guys, thank you for watching. Hopefully you learned a few things from this video. If you don't feel confident in the deal, don't chance it. I promise you, you will get scammed. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you're looking to purchase anything, sell a watch, reach right out. My number's blasted in every single video. Head right over to the website. This watch will be listed by the time this video airs, and I'll catch you on the next one.